You've marked your boundaries and planned your layout. But now, you're staring at the ruined house and wondering, can this even be fixed? Today, we find out. Welcome back to episode 2 of our Tenpines Bluff renovation. In episode 1, we laid out the plan, and today, we're going to tackle the ruined house. And I'll show you exactly how to build it, step by step, with no mods or glitches. We're using basic snapping that works on any platform. And definitely stay for the story at the end. We're going to take a look at the new house and learn a little about the settlers who have made Tenpines their home. The house will be renovated in several steps. To begin, we'll frame out the first floor. Next, we'll build a second floor. After that, we'll finish the structure, add defenses, and install a water purifier. And finally, we'll wire everything up. And with that, let's get started. An important consideration for building is that the back corner of the house sits close to the settlement boundary. So this will limit how far we can build in this direction. Prior to building, scrap or store any items around the perimeter of the house. Inside the house, begin by placing a barn wall in the back left corner. I'm using the second floorboard line as a guide for placement. Push the wall tightly into the corner and align it with the edge of the floorboard. Once in place, snap 2 walls along the back and 1 on the side. The side wall should snap in place easily. If not, remove the last 3 walls and slide the first wall tighter into the corner. Replace the walls and try again. Starting in the back right corner, snap a barn or warehouse floor to the top of the walls. To the right of that, snap another floor and then 3 more across the front. To the right, snap on another floor. Fill the left side of the opening with 2 half floors, and then add a quarter floor on the upper right side. Snap stairs in the opening and move to the second floor. Add a quarter floor in the opening across from the stairs. The upper floor will measure 4 tiles long and 2 tiles deep. While we're up here, we're going to build the second floor, and then we'll return to the first. Starting on the side nearest the stairs, snap on half walls, 2 on the front, 2 on the side, and 2 on the back. Next, add a roof sloping from front to back. Along the edge of the roof, add transition pieces that will allow the structure to shift from short to tall walls. These pieces need to be installed before the remaining walls or they won't snap into place. Snap 1 to the left and right sides of the roof. On the opposite side, add gables to the opening beneath the roof. On the remaining half of the second floor, snap a door frame in the back corner and a wall to the right. On the front, snap 2 walls with windows and 2 walls across the back. Snap on a roof sloping side to side. Add gables to the openings and the second floor is finished. Return to the outside. On this side of the house, we will build a large storage garage with plenty of room for the water purifier and scavenging stations. Along the side of the house, snap 2 walls beneath the floor and another across the back opening. This wall will cross the settlement boundary, but can be snapped into place. Move back to the front and snap an additional wall on the side toward the front. Add foundations by snapping to the bottom of the side walls. The rear foundation is optional. It will mostly be under the ground. Out front, snap a foundation to the right of the first, and then 2 foundations to the front of those. Fill the opening beside the house with a half floor. Staying on this side, snap a wall to the second foundation and then another wall to the right. Here's an overview of what it should look like so far. Return to the front to finish the storage area. Snap a door frame for the large barn doors to the right and left side of the walls. Add a roof sloping side to side and fill the gables beneath the roof. Now it's starting to look like a house. Back inside, snap a door frame across the opening on the left side across from the stairs. This area will make the perfect bathroom. Now to fix the side wall. A barn wall won't fit into this space, but we can use concrete instead. Slide a full concrete wall into the opening. Align it and get it as close to the side wall as possible. If a full concrete wall doesn't fit, start by sliding a half concrete wall onto the left side and then fill the remaining space with concrete pillars. There's a large hole in the bathroom wall that can be repaired with concrete. To maintain as much space as possible inside, I'm going to fill the hole from the garage side. A full concrete wall can't be placed close enough to the opening, so I'm going to use concrete pillars instead. Starting on the right side, push the pillar as close to the opening as possible. Snap a half wall beside it, then fill the remaining opening with concrete pillars. Now we'll finish the interior, starting with the doorway. To properly position a door frame, we need a snap point for the wall. This can be done by removing the floor directly above the entry and replacing it with a half floor as shown. Now, a door frame can be snapped to the edge of the half floor. This will align it perfectly over the existing walkway. Valentine checked to make sure NPCs could properly use the doorway. Now, repair the last corner on the first floor. Because the dimensions won't fit the standard wall size, I'm going to use concrete to repair the space. Start by aligning a concrete pillar next to the edge of the side wall. Fill the space along the side with concrete pillars. If there is an opening between the last pillar and the front wall, remove the pillars and adjust the first pillar to create enough room to fill the space. Snap a concrete wall across the front and then fill the remaining space beside the doorway with pillars. And here's a look at the completed first floor. Back outside, we will finish the front by adding a balcony with an entrance to the second floor. Start by filling in the opening from the earlier removed floor with a half floor. In front of that, snap 2 half floors, a quarter floor on the corner, a half floor on the side, followed by a full floor beneath a door frame wall. Snap stairs to the edge of the rear floor and finish the balcony with a railing. Now, add support posts where needed. Here's a building tip. A single post often isn't long enough to reach the ground. Snap a short post first, then snap the long post to it. The long post will easily sink through the ground. Over on the garage side, I'm adding ramps to the edge of the foundations. They won't snap into place, but can be manually positioned and aligned. I also had Nick Valentine verify that NPCs can use the ramp. Finish the exterior by adding doors. Now that we finished the structure, let's work on defenses. To help defend Tenpines, snap roof platforms from the barn roof section to the top of the roof on the back and side. Finish by installing turrets to provide firepower to ward off any settlement invaders. The patch of dirt inside the garage can be used to securely install a powered water purifier. Before installing the equipment, position a wall pass-through conduit, extending the connector end through the wall. On the top, attach a conduit junction. Install the water purifier and the necessary generators. Connect both the junction and the purifier to the power. To provide radiant power for lights throughout the house, place several power connectors along the back wall and connect them to the conduit junction extending through the wall. This supplies power to both the first and second floors. If additional power is needed on the opposite front side of the house, a ceiling-mounted power connector inside the garage should do the trick. If you want to learn more about power or conduits in Fallout 4, I have a couple of dedicated videos on those topics that I'll link in the description. And that's the build. But before you go, let me show you what this place becomes. because that old shed up on the hill, that's where the story really begins. It was a warm summer day when the Minutemen first arrived at Tenpines Bluff to begin renovations for the 2 settlers who called Tenpines their home. Faye was the first to arrive at Tenpines. She once lived just outside of Concord, where she made a home inside an old but somewhat sturdy house. Late one night, raiders attacked. She escaped under the cover of darkness with little more than the clothes on her back, grateful just to be alive. After several days alone on the road, she came across an old shed at Tenpines Bluff and decided to shelter there for the night. The next morning, she met Lucas Miller and his caravan crew. Lucas frequently stopped at Tenpines while traveling through the Commonwealth. He liked the location, quiet, isolated, and surrounded by rocky terrain that made it difficult for raiders to approach unnoticed. For the first time since leaving Concord, Faye felt safe, so she decided to stay. The second settler arrived sometime later. William was quiet, hardworking, and rarely spoke about his past. Before coming to Tenpines, he occasionally worked as a caravan guard, but an old injury made the long miles difficult. Lucas eventually brought him to the settlement to help Faye maintain the farm. Faye liked William, but she never pressed him about his past. In the Commonwealth, people usually have reasons for staying quiet. They always intended to build a proper home, but larger settlements tend to attract attention in the Commonwealth. Raiders notice new walls. Gunners notice working lights. So they made do with the old shed and whatever supplies Lucas could spare from his travels. Eventually, word spread through the caravan network that Tenpines could use help rebuilding. And now, the Minutemen have arrived. With the new defenses in place and the house finally complete, Tenpines is beginning to look less like a temporary shelter and more like a real home. The first floor features a full kitchen, a small bathroom, and plenty of room for storage. Upstairs is a large bunkhouse with enough space to welcome future settlers. At the top of the stairs, we find an area to sit and enjoy Faye's paintings. Faye spends her evenings creating artwork to decorate the house. Even if it's only scraps of canvas and leftover paint, it's the first time in years she can remember being truly happy. The Minutemen supplied them with proper beds and real blankets, a luxury that's hard to come by in the Commonwealth. Faye wishes William would smoke his cigars outside, but compared to sleeping in an old shed, it's just not worth complaining about. Outside, there's a small place to sit and relax after a long day working the farm. A And over in the storage garage, the Minutemen brought in a robot to help gather supplies and maintain equipment. They also installed a secure water purification pump, providing clean running water for both the house and the crops. Not bad for a place that started with nothing more than an old shed on a hill. In our next episode, we will convert that old shed into a rest area for Lucas and his crew. Until then, thank you for watching, and I will see you at our next build site.